Hello everybody, I'm RENZO Mocs, and after quite a decent amount of time, we're finally back taking a look at two more Mocs. Now this video is going to be a little bit more concise than the other ones. We're taking a look at Skids and RRFD. So let's get started. So I figured I'd cover RRFD first because he is not a mock made by me. Rangus actually made this mock, and while mine does have some difference, for instance the eye is orange, the cannon's a little off, he doesn't have an antenna, stuff like that. The legs are pretty different, and also this one has a giant gun. That's kind of the main differences. Other than that, he's pretty much just the exact same build from what I could tell. And I just wanted to make this robot because Rangus's build description was kind of like these are security drone robots built for protecting banks and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll build that. I live in a world, I work with a lot of villains and stuff. I want to build one of these guys. So yeah, I actually really do like the build of this guy quite a lot. It's fairly simple, but at the same time, I think the simplicity works well for the robotic nature of the character. It's a very simple but nice and smooth looking build. Obviously mine does have quite a lot of differences from the actual model. For instance, mine doesn't have Orochi feet, but in the end I think it's actually quite a nice build regardless. He's very lanky and yet at the same time very bulky, which I think I like the most about him. Now articulation on this guy isn't exactly the greatest. As you guys know, when you put a friction adder here, it does limit articulation quite a lot. That's about as far as a bend as you can get, which is actually pretty okay considering you can move his leg that much. That's pretty good, honestly. And again, I'm not using the Orochi feet, which sucks, but I just don't have them in white. The arms are where the real limited posability is. That's about as far as it can get, which really sucks. Which is why I overcompensated by giving him this huge cannon. It's just the gun build, but I added onto it. I gave it a huge, like, back stock. It's massively heavy, and it works for a robot. He's just got this huge cannon gun, and I really like it. Also, this is a knockoff piece. I should probably just mention that, but I really do like the look of the gun. He does have some certain differences. For instance, the actual model that Rangus built doesn't have these panels on here. Should note that right now. Also, this is not a spoiler character since he has reviewed this mock, or he has shown off this mock on Instagram. So this character is perfectly free. Thought I should just mention that. I should particularly mention I really like the shoulder pad technique he went with here. It's very nice. It's a very simple technique, but it does wonders for actually covering up the shoulders. So good job there, Rangus. Although I do think the head isn't the best. It's pretty standard. I prefer the GCU style head, kind of like what Skids has here, as you can see. I prefer that a lot more. It looks a lot more robotic and angry, but it's not bad by any means. And for anyone wondering what this is, I don't know, it's some sort of power pack or something. I don't really have a reason. And then the cannon does have a full articulation, but I will mention this likes to fall out quite a lot, so I need to replace those. But the cannon is on a full ball joint, so you can get it to pop out and sit over the shoulder. Quite an impressive range, which is very good. So this is more of an actual just review. Good going, Rangus. You made a really cool looking mock, and I really like it. For anyone who knows anything about Transformers, I'm sure the name Skid sounds familiar. It's not the most original name, but it's just kind of the first thing I thought of. But Skid is spelled with a 1. I should just mention that right now. It's got a 1 in it, so it's not exactly the same. But Skids is, if you couldn't tell, he's a bioformer. I haven't built too many bioformers, but this is the one I have built, and it's not done very well. His legs look very awkward, and I'm going to show you guys how to transform him in a bit. Very standard, very standard mock. Whoopsie. I don't know why he's a green stud on his back, but that's just there. I guess it's his core or something like that. Very standard. This is supposed to be a gun. It's just kind of the hitch for the vehicle mode. It's not anything special, but it's supposed to be a gun, I guess. It doesn't really look like it. And I like the head a lot more. Also, this is a knockoff for anyone who was wondering. Both of these pieces are knockoffs. This is a knockoff heat orange chest piece, and this is the knockoff black chest piece that came on that set. Leg movement, very limited. That's about as far as he can go. That's just because the tires are in the way. It's very weird. I like the color scheme a lot, though. That was my main point. I really like this guy's color scheme. It's very simple, but I think the colors work very well. So I'm going to transform him. So see you guys in a bit. So obviously this is a super simplistic transformation. It doesn't look very impressive, but I think from one of my first bioformers, I think it does a decent job at doing what it's supposed to do. You know, I think everything looks fine. The tires don't even touch the ground. They don't even like roll. I guess they roll a little bit, but they don't even touch the ground because the idea is that this is more of a hover vehicle. So it would just kind of float around barely off the ground, kind of like this. It would just barely touch. It wouldn't actually roll. The tires are more there for aesthetic reasons, but you can see the hitch actually latches onto the hands, and as you can see, yeah, that's not very good. Why did I pose it like that? But there's exhaust coming out of the bottom there, so you can just tell that this thing is probably a lot faster than you might expect. So yeah, I think it's cool. It's nothing amazing. It doesn't look too good, but you know what? I think for one of my first bioformers, I think it looks okay. I'm not so good with these kind of things. So anyways, here is Skid, and I forget his freaking name. Sorry, guys. I'll write it down. You guys understand. Mock made by Rangus, which I modified a decent amount, and then a attempt at a bioformer. I know this isn't the most exciting review, but I just wanted to start the mock reviews again. Hopefully get back into them so we can kind of repeat sort of this weekly thing that, not weekly, you can expect another mock review soon enough. I haven't really been having a lot of motivation, so I'm getting back into them. But this is kind of my first review to get things kickstarted. Just 2 little robots, and eventually I'll be getting onto bigger mocks. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. So thank you so much, and goodbye.